Oh, it's starting.
Okay. I'll see if it's up.
Oh, it's starting.
I'll see if it's up.
Oh, it's starting. All right, we are live.
Okay. Getting the link. Share it to Twitter, and we can get going.
Yo, Martin, what's up? Martin's the first one in here.
What's up, everybody?
I want to see if, like, I could put this.
There is definitely a way to tweet this out. At who got NXT.
I don't know who's in here, who's not in here. 4 people watching. Hey.
Is the chat live right now?
Yeah, Martin's in it.
Okay, cool. Get started in a sec, guys.
Yeah, just waiting for some people to trickle in.
Okay, let's see if that works.
This show sucks. Sorry, Rob.
Alright, Rob, you want some entertainment? Tomasso's the best heel in the world. Fight me. Come on, frat boy. I'm not in the chat, so I
Rob's gonna fucking throw you into the wall.
Rob's gonna kick my ass in Brooklyn.
Keenan's gonna knock you out. Keenan's getting jacked. Good luck.
I know. He keeps posting the photos for Dakota Kai.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he's trying to slide up in them DMs. All right, we're gonna give it another minute, and then we're gonna start.
Yep, I'm putting in the chat stuff for 5. I wanted a Tomasso shirt, not gonna lie.
I'm trying to figure out this camera. Are you ready?
Yep, I'm gonna jump in the chat first minute.
Whenever you're ready, we can start.
Yep. Alright, let's get to it.
Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Who Got Next, your weekly podcast for all the reviews and news for the best brand going, NXT. I'm hype. I'm messing up the intro. I don't even care. I'm one of your hosts, the EST of NXT coverage, Phil Cataldo. But for tonight, regardless of the shirt, you can call me Phillium Wrestling. And with me, as always, my wonderful co-hosts, the voice of reason, Nicholas Giacobbe. And tonight, even though he does not have a beard, even though he is wearing a Johnny Wrestling shirt, you can call him Nicky Entertainment.
I was going to be Nicky Wrestling, but you totally stole that, so...
You can't be Nicky Wrestling and also Nicky Entertainment. You already turned heel, and you messed everything up.
That's true. I didn't mess everything up. The heel turn was awesome. It was almost as good as Tomasso's heel turn.
Yeah, you almost got fired.
Who's going to fire me?
Me.
I don't think so. Phil, we're hype. You're hype. I'm sure the chat is hype. Everybody's hype. Takeover Chicago tonight. First off, I really get hype when they say Chicago 2, because it's a nitpick right there when they don't say Chicago 2. There was a Chicago last year. I want this to be the 2. There's my nitpick for tonight.
Oh, right off the bat, nitpick. We're not even 2 minutes into the show. He's already nitpicking things. I can't wait. Let's go. The last NXT was in New Orleans for WrestleMania, and it was amazing. It was probably my favorite wrestling show I've ever seen from top to bottom. Gotta love it. And it definitely has a lot of expectations tonight, right? Because this is in the arena where Ciampa and Gargano started, so we cannot forget that. This is definitely something to look forward to.
Totally, and Triple H always says that he wants the next takeover to top the last takeover. He wants every single match on the card to top the previous match, and that's going to be tough to do. I'm not saying they can't do it. I'm not saying that Chicago can't be better than New Orleans. That's ridiculous. But it's going to be tough. New Orleans has set the bar for the future of what a takeover event should be like, and I think that tonight they live up to expectations. I think we have 5 really good matchups to discuss. I think there's a lot of potential outcomes that could happen. And I'm just excited for a night of wrestling where we know it's going to be a good night of wrestling. It's not Money in the Bank tomorrow where we're only excited for a couple matches and a few of them might suck. It's not a normal Raw or SmackDown where we're just tuning in because we feel like we have to. It's a night where everybody's pretty much excited and there's a lot of positivity going around. And I think that's the major takeaway from every TakeOver event. Jesus, feel your eyes.
My eyes. Now, I lit up. Ant was like, the layout was hot. Shout out to Ant for making the layout. But, so the whole thing that people need to understand about tonight is, remember when Velveteen Dream and Alistair Black stole the show at War Games, and a lot of people had that match under the radar? I mean, we didn't, because we're smart. EST, NXT covers, top guys, you know what I mean? But what I'm saying is, remember when Velveteen Dream and Alistair Black was going under the radar? This entire card is under the radar, except for Gargano and Ciampa. We understand what that match is going to be. That match has unbelievably high expectations, right? The last time they fought, it was a 5-star match. Yada, yada, you guys know all that stuff. But this entire card is filled with matches that have low expectations. Shayna Baszler and Nicky Cross, Ricochet versus Velveteen Dream, The Undisputed Era versus Oni and Birch. I always want to say Oni and Lorcan. I always want to say Oni and Lorcan. I don't know. They need a tag team name. I'm tired of saying Lorcan and Birch.
They're getting it tonight. They're definitely going to have a tag team name tonight and a T-shirt. It's going to be
called
DIY all over again.
They should be called 1-2 Punch. Done. Put it on a T-shirt. Let's move on. And then we have Alistair Black versus Lar Sullivan. The match that no one's even talking about. Let's talk about that. The match that no one's talking about, even that match is going to be great. Lar Sullivan has not disappointed whenever he's put in these big match situations. But we're going to get to each individual match because this show, we're going to try to keep it under half an hour. And we all know, for everybody who listens to our show every week, me and Nick like to talk. So we can definitely go like 2 hours on this because it's what we do. But Nick, let's jump into what both of us believe. Actually, no, because if you listen to the show, we had different ideas of what's going to open. So let's open with the match that you think's going to open, which is the tag team title match. So what do you think about this match, and who do you think's going to win?
Well, let's start with this. For anybody that didn't listen to yesterday's episode of Who Got Next, shame on you, first off. Second off, I think that this match should open because if it goes behind the Velveteen Dream and Ricochet, the fans are going to be gassed. They're not going to give Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch the reaction that they deserve and really need tonight. And I feel like this match is going to be underrated a little bit. So if it opens, I think the fans will remember it better, and it can really leave a lasting mark on everybody's impressions. I said this on Twitter a couple days ago, and now I'm seeing a lot of people piggybacking off my opinion. It's a dark horse for match of the night. Is it my pick for match of the night? No. But these four guys going to put everything into the match that they can. Danny Burch and Oni Lorcan are hyped as fuck right now. Like, they've been tweeting about it nonstop that they can't sleep, that this is the biggest match of their careers. So they're going to go out there and leave everything on the line. And we all know how Roddy Strong and Kyle O'Reilly, you know, how they wrestle. We just saw Kyle O'Reilly and Pete Dunne tear the house down this past week on NXT. So Roddy and Kyle aren't going to hold anything back. So these four guys that are so naturally gifted in the ring, and they're going to throw everything at each other. If they don't get 15 minutes, why can't this be match of the night? Why can't it be a dark horse for the match of the night?
Listen, it could be, right? We haven't had a tag team title match that was match of the night since when? Revival was doing it? Or DIY was fighting, right? Something like that. It's been that long.
I just want to answer a question right here. Ant, Dunn is not fighting Cole because takeovers want to be held to under 2.5 hours, 3 hours, something like that. And there's no reason to have Cole and Dunn go at it when they're going to have that British Strong Style versus the Undisputed Era matchup. I think it's it's Monday, actually, at the Royal Albert Hall in London, England. So that's my guess. It would be a cool match to have, but it would take away some time from the other matches. So Dream and Ricochet might get a solid 5-10 minutes more because they're not having that matchup. So
that is true. Would you rather have a Adam Cole Pete Dunne match? We've seen this match on NXT TV, and it was great, right? I'd love to see it again. But would you rather have it tonight, or like Nick said, Ricochet and Velveteen Dream get 10 more minutes? That's basically what it is, right?
And here's the other thing. We're probably going to see both Pete Dunne and Adam Cole ringside for that match at some point. That's my guess.
They'll do something. They'll interfere. There's no way there's going to be an NXT takeover and Adam Cole is not going to be seen at all. It's not happening, right? But
totally. As
far as the title match, I mean, you could tell who I'm rocking with, right? I think Undisputed Era wins. I think that ever since, Nicky brought it up on the show a while back, that Undisputed Era, if they make it to the end of the year, they will become the longest reigning tag team champions in NXT history. I think that WWE loves to break records like that, especially the longest reigns ones. And I think that with Ascension basically being jobbers on the main roster, I think that Undisputed Era is definitely going to break that record. So I see them retaining all the way to the end of the year. Maybe losing at Takeover that's with the Royal Rumble. I think it's in Arizona or something. I don't know.
It is, right. It's going to be Takeover Phoenix, I believe, January, I guess, 29th, 30th. So that's Phil's pick. Now, here's the thing with me. I can't really pick with my heart in this one because I love all four of these guys. I've been behind Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch since the beginning of the year of them saying they're going to be the next DIY, and they had a lot of real potential to be the face tag team that NXT needs. But I've been behind Roddy Strong since, I mean, how long, Phil? I've been behind Roddy forever.
Roddy's your boy. I think he debuted on NXT, and you were like, that's my guy. That's my guy. And you were down with it. He's always been my
guy. And Kyle O'Reilly's like an older me. So this is the Nick special match. It's like Candice versus Peyton Royce at Axxess. Mm-hmm. Whoever wins, I don't lose. Mm-hmm. But now it's time to pick with my head. I'm picking the Undisputed Era. But I'm going a different way. I think that Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch get screwed a little bit. I think they come out and get a really hot reaction. I think they have a T-shirt. I think they have a brand new Titantron. I think they're going to have a name, hopefully, maybe. I think it's going to be... I think it's possible there's another DIY scenario where they're in Brooklyn against the Revival and they got their name and their T-shirt right there. They got a big reaction. They lost their match, but they gained the respect of the NXT universe. And that's really what I hope happens. And then if Undisputed Era isn't going to make it till December as the tag champs, because they have to make it to December. They have to make it past the LA Takeover. So if Triple H doesn't want the Undisputed Era to hold the titles for that long, I think Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch take the titles off the Undisputed Era in Brooklyn. And I think it's DIY all over again. And then the War Raiders will absolutely kill Lorcan and Burch in LA or in Phoenix.
Listen, these are all great thoughts. Nick is usually right about these things. I mean, Nick watches NXT TV like 3 times before we record. So, I mean, Nick is usually in the know with a lot of these things. I just want to jump into the chat because people are saying really cool stuff. A lot of people are wondering who's going to be the face in the crowd. If you guys know, there's usually a face in these bigger takeover shows. New signees, right? In, what was it? In Philly, it was EC3. Was there anybody in New Orleans? No, right?
No, there wasn't. The last time there was like a legitimate face in the crowd, because we knew EC3 had signed. So when's the last time there was really a face? Because it wasn't War Games, I don't think. It wasn't Brooklyn. I think the last time there was a legitimate face in the crowd might have been Mania last year with Drew. Yeah, might have been, right? It definitely might have been. When we were in Orlando, yeah. But I think a lot of people in the chat are saying this, and no, I agree. It's going to be Keith Lee. Keith Lee will be there tonight. He will get that huge pop. I would have thought it had been Toni Storm or Shirai, Io Shirai, or whatever her name is. But our good brother Cody Repass says that Toni and Io are both in Japan still, so it definitely won't be them. I could definitely see Keith Lee in the crowd. That would be dope. And then Chicago is a smart town, right? Chicago loves the indies, loves all pro wrestling, right? They're in the know. They'll pop for Keith Lee. It's a perfect town for him to debut in. And if you guys have been following him on his social media, he has been posting a lot of farewell pictures. So he's definitely most likely signed to NXT, right? So he'll be here tonight. I hope so. But I really want to get to this next match, which is Velveteen Dream versus Ricochet. I'm going to start this off. This is who I think is going to win. This is who I think is going to win. I don't want to put it back on. But Ricochet is an absolute star. Ricochet is being primed as the successor to the Finn Balor of NXT, right? Which is the top face, top merch seller, the top attraction, if I can say the word. And, you know, somebody that everybody goes to see. You know, not just the adults, but the kids and everybody else. So I think that Ricochet wins this match to kind of catapult him. I know on the show, Nick, you even brought this up. You think that Ricochet may win this North American title in Brooklyn. So this will be a good stepping stone for him. And Velveteen Dream doesn't really need to win. I mean, his character work is unbelievable whether he wins or loses. His character doesn't need wins because his character is over in general, right? I think you give this big win to Ricochet. It'll be his first win in a takeover. That's also another good point to think about when going into this match. But Nick, what do you think about this match and who do you think is going to win? First off, I just want to go back a little bit. I posted polls to the Twitter. Every match, go and vote on them. Undisputed Era, 89%. Lorcan and Burch, 11%. Poll is still up if you want to vote. Wanted to throw that out there. Talking about this match, Phil, This match has the highest expectations tonight, not Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. This match right now is what everybody's talking about. Everybody's saying that this match is going to be the match of the night. Leaving this to have the highest expectations, and that worries me a little bit. When matches have expectations this high, that gives them a lesser ceiling to fail. So people are going to judge it very harshly if it does not lead up to their expectations. But I think they're going to get a solid 25-30 minutes. I think that they are going to steal the show. I have confidence in both these performers. They've both been working a lot of live events together, so they know each other's styles. It's not like they're just stepping into the ring with each other for the first time. And I'm going to go the same with you. I think Ricochet does get the win. I think the Velveteen Dream, he could use the win. He doesn't need it. But I think with Ricochet not have lost a singles match before NXT loves those undefeated streaks until they eventually lose. Both Lar Sullivan and Alistair Black are both undefeated in singles competition, for example. So I think Ricochet does win tonight, and then I think he does go to face Adam Cole at the Brooklyn Takeover. And just look at him. His gear is always red. His entrance is red. That red belt was made for Ricochet to carry forever, and he's going to be in NXT probably until Brooklyn of next year. So he's going to hold that red belt for a while. It's a great decision, and I just hope that they steal the show tonight, and I hope that the dream is over. And more importantly, I hope Velveteen Dream has Prince Puma's mask on his tights or on his ass.
Oh my
or
God,
something
imagine. Like that's going to be dope. I just want to jump right back into the chat. Jeremy is saying Ricochet wins tonight, and then Dream wins the triple threat with Cole at TakeOver to win the title. That could very well happen. That's a great way to get all three guys on the Brooklyn card. That is going to be stacked because, as you see, even this match card is stacked shit, right? There's a lot of people who aren't even on this card. You know, EC3's in there, Adam Cole, Pete Dunne. So, and NXT's only getting more stars, so it's getting harder and harder to get on these takeovers.
Totally.
Shout out to
and
Eugene.
On the poll on Twitter again, Ricochet 53%, Velveteen Dream 47%.
Okay, so it's close.
Very close. You can still vote if you want to put your vote in. And if you see me looking down, I'm looking at the chat. It's on my phone. Nothing I can do about that one, guys.
Yeah, but so you know, Eugene is saying that Velveteen Dream wins and he's due for a quality win. He doesn't think the loss would hurt Ricochet. Also, Eugene mentioned earlier that there was a face at Mania and it was Ricochet. No, it was in Philly. So no, it was Philly. So there wasn't a face at Mania.
There was no face at Mania.
So it was Ricochet and
Ricochet
EC3
was Philly, right?
and the War Raiders.
Right. And Eugene's right. Velveteen Dream can definitely use a quality win. He did beat Cassius Ohno at the Philly Takeover that we were at for that match.
Hero.
His name is Fat Hero. The match was a little messy, a couple botched spots that really prevented it from being a show stealer. So I wouldn't be shocked if the Dream won, but my pick is Ricochet. So we'll see how that ends tonight.
Cody, I'm bummed when we don't have Pete Dunne on takeovers either. It's tough. It's tough. This dude puts on classic matches every time he wrestles. And it's damn, man. Like, you guys are bumming me out because now I want Pete Dunne on the card. But we'll see him. He'll come out. He'll do one of these. Maybe he'll do one of these. Maybe he'll do one of these. And just punch somebody in the face.
He did the Ciampa. Did you see Ciampa mocking Pete Dunne? It's hilarious.
Yeah, dude. When he was doing this with the belt.
Yeah.
Tommaso Ciampa scares the shit out of me. Okay? Let's talk about that. Now let's go on to the next match, and that is, I think, the biggest sleeper match of the night. Absolutely. Shayna Baszler versus Nikki Cross. It's a match that I think a lot of people are going to be very surprised with. I think that we're used to seeing Shayna Baszler wrestle a slower style with someone like Ember Moon because they were telling a bigger story. But I think the Shayna Baszler-Nikki Cross match is going to just be a war. It's going to show Shayna Baszler in a way better light. It's going to show her that not only is she this like tactician who's doing all these submissions and stuff like that, but like she's a brawler and like she'll fuck somebody up. And I think Nikki Cross brings out that even like crazier side of her, and it makes her look more evil. We keep saying it on the show, and I'm going to keep saying it right now. Shayna Baszler is Thanos in the NXT universe. That is her job. Her job is to not only be unstoppable, but to make everybody fear the shit out of her. And, you know, they've done that with Dakota Kai. She's been on record saying it on camera that she's scared of her. So, like, now she's going to make the rest of the locker room scared of her because the one person who isn't scared of anybody, which is Nikki Cross, starting tonight, is going to leave NXT. And, you know, on TV, they'll be like, she left because she was scared. And she'll probably go up with Sanity tomorrow or something. But, Nick, what do you think of this match, and who do you think is going to win?
I think you're right about it being the sleeper of the night. I think that it's going to start off pretty fast. Nikki Cross will attack her a couple times. I'm sure there's going to be a spot where Shayna Baszler is outside the ring, and Nikki Cross will dive off the top ropes or something like that. Then I think Shayna does her normal moveset, which is very slow, suplexes, clotheslines, whatever. And then by the end of it, it's going to pick up and people will see what a really solid match that Shayna can do. And listen, Shayna's a sports entertainer. She's one of the best in the world at being a sports entertainer. She's not the best wrestler. She's not Ricochet, Velveteen Dream, Johnny Gargano. And that's fine. It's not what she needs to be. She's a character. So what she's going to do is she's going to play the character. She's going to have really good facials to the camera. She's going to be working on Nikki Cross's arms and stuff. And she's going to squeak out the victory by locking in the Kushida clutch or whatever she calls it. I'm sure Rob
I'm surprised she doesn't have like a name. Like, you know how like Daniel Bryan had the lapel lock?
There is a name. There is a name. I always
No,
forget.
but there's like a legitimate name to the move. But there isn't like a her name. You know how like Daniel Bryan did the lapel lock and then they changed it to the yes lock? Like,
right.
I feel like they're going to eventually do that with her. Like, whatever that move is actually called, when she goes up to the main roster, it'll be called, like, the Queen of Spades lock or the fucking full deck or some stupid card reference that WWE always done. Right?
Totally.
It's ridiculous.
So, Phil, are we both picking Shayna Baszler here?
Oh, dude, absolutely. There's no way Shayna doesn't win. This is they're telling, like I said, like you agree with me, they're telling a bigger story with Shayna. The story is who the hell is going to be her. It's not going to be Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross is amazing. Nikki Cross deserves to be on the main roster. Nikki Cross deserves this moment on a takeover. I'm very happy for her. However, the long-term plan is Shayna Baszler, whether it's Dakota Kai or Bianca Belair or who you hope, Nick, which is Candice LeRae. If whoever dethrones her, it's not going to happen tonight. It will happen later on with one of the newer girls. So I'm going with Shayna Baszler.
And here's the thing. We don't always use the word deserve or earned, but Nikki Cross has earned this. She's been one of the most consistent performers in the NXT Women's Division for, it must be at least a year and a half by now. She's been on takeovers, but in 2 fatal 4-way matchups, and she performed really well in those 2 matchups. But she's finally getting her singles match on a takeover, and I think that's a really good nod to her. Kind of like how they did Becky Lynch and Sasha back in the day, how they gave Becky Lynch that singles match nod right before she went up. I think that's really cool. As like a thank you, basically. Thank you for being a hard worker. You're going to get this spotlight, and she's not going to win it, but she is getting the spotlight. As for Shayna Baszler...
That's the thing with NXT, though, that people need to realize is a lot of these matches, the winner doesn't necessarily matter, right? Of course, in the Gargano Ciampa matches or stuff like that, and I understand it's a title match, the winner matters because you win the title or you retain the title. However, with these takeover specials, they're not just about who wins or loses. It's about who puts on the best show, right? Velveteen Dream lost to Alistair Black, yet after that night, both men were cheered, and both men, you know, used that match to kind of bring themselves to a higher level on NXT TV, right? It puts them in a better light. And I think that with this match, Nikki Cross doesn't win, it's fine. Because, you know, like everyone's saying in the chat, and like how we think, Nikki Cross is most likely going up with Sanity. And, you know, she could, what if she shows up at Money, loses tonight, shows up at Money in the Bank tomorrow? Her loss is forgotten. She's on the main roster now. We can move on. Ember Moon lost her last match in NXT, and guess what? She might win the Money in the Bank tomorrow. So it's like, wins and losses don't necessarily matter in NXT unless it's a part of Gargano and Ciampa's story, because that story is just amazing.
Totally agree. And look, this is to get Shayna Baszler a credible win. She just won the title. She has to win a couple matches to seem like a real credible champion. And Nikki Cross is a great competitor to get that first credible win against. Phil, Eugene says, call it the ace in the hole. What are your thoughts?
What about Shayna?
About her finisher. Call her finisher the ace in the hole.
Ace in the hole. I like that. But you see, that's good thinking, because you know WWE is going to do something stupid, and that's a good idea. So WWE, if anybody's watching, which you're probably not, but you should, okay? Triple H, you want to build a performance center everywhere. Build a performance center in New York so me and Nick could just go work there, okay? It'll be great.
We'll do everything there. We'll clean the bathrooms and
I already do maintenance at Dick's Sporting Goods. I can easily do maintenance at the performance center, okay? Will it smell in the locker rooms? Absolutely, right? A bunch of sweaty performers taking steroids probably. Nah, I'm just playing. They don't take steroids no more because they would get fired. But Nick, let's move on to the next match.
Right before we move on, though, the poll on Twitter, Shayna Baszler 77%, Nikki Cross 23%. I don't think the poll's going to change, but go and pick your votes for your predictions.
Absolutely. Now let's move to the next match, which is the #1 sleeper match, because no one's talking about this match. I don't even think anybody really cares about this match. Alistair Black versus Lar Sullivan. Now, for me, I think Alistair Black retains. NXT takes chances and takes risks, but not all the time. And I'm not saying Lar Sullivan is a risk, because I think he'll do great for the division. However, I feel like Until there is evidence that the Gargano and Ciampa feud is over, I do not think Alistair Black loses that belt. Because, in all honesty, I think Tommaso wins the belt from him. I think Tommaso wins tonight in Chicago. I think Tommaso somehow wins that belt in Brooklyn. And then him and Johnny fight in L.A. And Nick gets plane tickets. Nick, that's why he's looking down right now. He is on freaking Priceline.com, Expedia.com. He's using that Giacobbe money, and he is pre-booking a flight to LA and a flight to Phoenix because he will be going to every takeover, starting after tonight, every takeover until Johnny wins the belt, just so he doesn't miss it. But I think Alistair's going to win. Who do you think is going to win this match?
We're both totally in agreement with this. And Lar Sullivan, like Triple H said on the conference call, he's done everything right so far. He's hit home runs. He was great in the ladder match. He was great against Cassius Ohno a few months ago. And he was also great against Killian Dane in the multiple matches that they had. So why not give him this chance when they really needed somebody to fill that role to make Alistair Black look strong? About a month ago on this show, I called it and I said Lars Sullivan had a good chance of winning. I would have said it was about 60-40 in Alistair's favor. Tonight, I think it's about 80-20 in Alistair's favor. I think the odds have shifted. I think that Black has a much better chance, and I'm totally with you. I think Tommaso is taking that belt on Alistair Black in Brooklyn. I think Johnny's winning at some point. I don't think we see either of them on the main roster until 2019, which I'm 1,000% okay with. Because look, I don't want to see them on the main roster at this point. I don't want to see anybody on the main roster. I want just keep them in NXT. I don't care.
You know
keep
what's funny?
Forever.
I think we all owe you. I owe you personally, but we all owe Nick a big shout out because you were the first one that I heard say this, which was, I don't want people to get called up. I was excited when Ember got called up, AOP, Cien Almas, Sanity. I was so excited when they got called up, right? None of them are really doing anything but Ember Moon. Cien is doing some cool stuff on SmackDown here and there when he's actually on the show, right? They're doing a lot of backstage segments, but it's a slow burn with him, right? But, you know, Nick has a great point. He was the first one I heard say it. They don't need to go up. I don't want to see Tommaso and Johnny get called up because what are they going to do? I don't want to see TM61, who are now the Mighty. I don't want to see them get called up either. It's going to be really hard to call them the Mighty because I'm so used to calling them TM61. But I don't want to see anybody get called up from NXT until there's a spot open because the main roster is so goddamn full. There's no room for everybody. Sasha Banks is not doing anything. She's in the Money in the Bank match, but before that, she's done nothing. So why, as a women's wrestler, would you want to get called up right now? And it's the same thing for anybody in NXT. What would Alistair Black really do on the main roster? He's really popular, but so is Bobby Roode. And what is Bobby Roode doing? Nothing. So leave them in NXT. Please, for the love of God, these takeovers are amazing. They're doing all these special events all over the world. They're doing the show in Australia that got announced either today, right? Earlier today, they got announced.
Yep.
I heard you and Peyton are taking the private jet to go see it live, right?
Totally. I'll be there. I'll be there in front row. Peyton Royce will give me the tickets, and her and Bailey, I'm sure they're going to win the tag team championships.
That's a good point, Jeremy.
Or one of them's going to beat Charlotte or somebody.
Oh my
Sorry,
God, yeah.
Cody. I don't know.
Yeah.
I would love it, though.
Well, can we
give the Iconics the win in their hometown.
The Iconics should be on that show, and so should the dude from 205 Live.
The Iconics are already announced for the show. I'm sure that Buddy Murphy will get the call.
There you
and
go.
TM61 too, I think, right?
Yeah, they're from Australia as well.
They'll be on it. They'll definitely be on it.
So shout out to Jeremy before we move on to the main event. Shout out to Jeremy. I like that idea. Lars should be Keith Lee's debut.
I love it.
That's a good feud.
I really like that idea. Jeremy,
I don't know if they would feed Triple H's golden boy, which is Lar Sullivan. I don't think they'd feed him.
Triple H loves Lars. So yeah. Cassius Ohno is going to be his first feud because he faced Cassius Ohno at Axxess.
Well, they faced it at TakeOver.
No, I'm talking about Ohno and
Dream.
Keith Lee.
Oh, Keith Lee, dude. Listen, that was like good hero, right? When him and Keith Lee were having those matches on the Indies. But like now we got Fat Hero. He's just gonna lose. It'll be like on a pre-show that like no one even watches because like whatever catches on. I don't have time for you. But Nick, let's get into the match that we care about.
With us on Twitter, Alistair Black 93%, Lars Sullivan 7%, just totally killing them. Phil, let's shoot it. Best feud in the world right now. Best feud in however many years.
Dakota Kai versus Bianca Belair. This is what I'm talking about, baby. This is the main event of the night. This is the only match that I care about. I'm saying, let it play. Let the music play. Let the music play. Give it a second. Imagine I have a ponytail.
You gotta grow one now. I want you to grow a ponytail. There you go. Do it with your beard.
Okay, I'm done.
I think the best feud right now is Lar Sullivan versus Twitter, because he's terrible at Twitter.
Or Lio Rush versus his own stupidity. He loses. Fucking Lio Rush is so dumb. But listen, the true main event of the entire weekend, no matter what matches are going on, Johnny Gargano versus Tomasso Ciampa, Chicago street fight. Nick, where do you see this match going? Who do you see winning? And do you see any shenanigans, maybe at EC3, maybe at Candice LeRae, maybe somebody else getting involved? What do you think of this main event? These are both your guys. I'll let you take the floor first.
Here's the thing. Both EC3 and Adam Cole were on the pre-show. Or they're gonna be on the pre-show, not our pre-show. I wish they were on our pre-show, but...
Hold on, before you get into that, let's talk about something. Remember that fucking moron that was there?
He's back, Pat McAfee.
He's back.
The Colts punter.
What? Yo, remember when he was like in love with AOP? Like, I don't understand, bro. What are you doing? It's like, they're just so big and strong. They're just so big and strong. I wanted to bang my head against the fucking floor. This dude is the worst. Like, listen, that like weird shit might work on what is it? Bleacher? Barstool. That shit might work on Barstool, but like, bro, come on. Like, have a little class, right? I understand you're trying to make it all funny and hip for the fans, but it's like, if we're watching the pre-show, we're probably diehard fans, because I don't think any casual fans watch the pre-show. I don't even think they even understand what the pre-show is, to be completely honest with you. So, fuck that guy. We should do the pre-show. It should be me and you and Renee Young. Sign me up. Nick will hit on Renee Young the whole time.
Email Triple H and tweet him and all that good stuff.
Email him. I'm calling him in the press conference next time. I'm calling him. I'm going to be like, hey, Paul, put me on the pre-show, Paul. All right,
Paul would hate us. Paul would absolutely hate us.
Absolutely.
Phil, I retract my statement from Friday's show that nobody's going to interfere. Candice LeRae is 1 gazillion% showing up, and I think she's costing Gargano, not in a heel way, but in a way
in like an accident way?
In a way that she doesn't want him to turn into a monster, because if you read Gargano's tweets, it's, I have nothing to lose. I'm going there not to win. I'm going there to beat the hell out of Tommaso. I'm putting him in an ambulance. He did an interview with WWE.com, just not a video, but a sit-down interview or whatever. And he said these same quotes where he's like, I want to put him in an ambulance. It's his turn. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to make him bloodied or whatever. Candice is going to stop him. And you know what? It makes sense. But don't do this dumbass angle like they're breaking up or they're going to fight or something, because it's not fooling me. This isn't the main roster. Don't pull that crap. Candice and Johnny aren't breaking up. That's not happening, so don't do that. So
listen, Candice and Johnny are breaking up. This is the real power couple in NXT. Come down here. Because she didn't want to leave. Because she's going out. This is the real power couple in NXT. Oh, sorry.
Show the bling. Show the bling.
Show the bling.
Woo, there we go.
Boy, that's why I have no money. Bye. Love you.
I can't wait to show up to your wedding with a crutch. It's going to be great.
That's right. I'll have a sling on.
Yeah, exactly, right? Listen, I don't think Candice interferes. I'm sorry. I don't.
I hope you're right. EC3. So EC3's on the pre-show, as I said. We're going to have to hear what comments he has to say. If he says something about Gargano, we could be worried. If not, I think we're pretty good. I don't want to see EC3. I think that's dumb. Like, Candice, okay, she's in the story. EC3, I think that's dumb to insert him into the feud as a way to get Johnny away from Tommaso. I think there's better ways they can do that, because if you want to do Tommaso and Black, that's fine. I don't think EC3 is the way to get to that feud, though. So if EC3 gets involved in this match, it would not ruin the match. I'm not going to go complain and say it's ruined, but it's going to taint the ending a little bit. It's going to be like in Infinity War if Thanos lost the Infinity Glove and Thanos died. That would be the tainting of it. Something like that.
Dude, I think Tommaso wins. I don't care how it happens, whether it's Candice, whether it's somebody, Tommaso's winning, because he has to somehow get near the title. There's no other way around it. It is what it is. It's going to happen. I want to see Tommaso with that belt. NXT hasn't had that true, like, mega heel champion since, I think, Samoa Joe, and before him, Kevin Owens.
Was Joe even a heel? Like, people chanted for Joe, so it's probably
yeah,
Kevin
but like
Owens.
People once Tommaso gets away from Johnny Gargano at any level, people are going to cheer for him because the dude is amazing. It's just the fact.
I think Alistair Black controls it. I think fans still cheer on Alistair.
No, but like I think if it's Ciampa and Alistair Black, it'll be 50-50. But people hate Ciampa because of Gargano and his whole feud, and like people are playing along, which is what we asked of them. I just want to see that belt on Ciampa, and I want Johnny to be the one to beat him. I don't, or either or, you know, if they have Johnny win the belt first, then you're gonna have Ciampa just win it, like the way Kevin Owens beat Sami Zayn. I want to do something different. Have the heel win first, and then have Gargano do what Kevin Owens did, like just attack him and like, you know, I don't know, do something else. Have Ciampa win the belt in Brooklyn. Have Johnny Gargano versus EC3 in like a #1 contenders match or whatever the fuck they want to call it. And then Gargano wins that and then faces Ciampa in LA. Pay me for booking this greatness.
I think that's the same way we're both booking this. I think we have the exact mind, and my prediction of Gargano winning the title in Brooklyn was wrong. I am kind of happy to admit it, kind of not. But I would love to see Tommaso hold this title. I know I'm a Johnny fan, but I love Tommaso almost as much, just not as much. It'd be pretty cool to see two of my favorites win the NXT title, because none of my favorites ever win. They never, ever win.
Johnny won in New Orleans. He won.
What?
You can't ask for anything else.
What?
Johnny won in New Orleans.
I know he did, but now I want that damn title.
No.
I want the title.
We explained to you that night. I told you on the podcast. I explained it to you. He won once. It's over. It doesn't matter anymore. Your guys aren't going to win all the time. No. You're not going to get that moment ever again. I'm sorry. None of us do. We get to see our guy win one time. It's it. You're done. That's it.
I get one more against Ciampa. He wins in LA.
If you're in LA, you better book a plane to LA, bro, because Johnny is not winning anymore. One more time, he'll probably win if you see him live.
I'm going to get to see it. And then if Daniel Bryan wins at Mania next year, that will be poetic. But we're both going with Ciampa. Our followers on Twitter, 70% Ciampa, 30% Johnny. Let's talk about the real thing, though, Phil. Johnny is coming out as Captain America. What does it make Ciampa? Is he the Winter Soldier?
That'd be dope. That'd be dope.
If his like knee brace is like silver and has like the Soviet logo or whatever.
Yeah, I know. That'd be so dope.
I would love it. I don't think he could be Stark, because they were never really friends, Cap and Stark. So I think that only the Winter Soldier makes sense.
Absolutely. But we've gone about 30 minutes. You know, we'd love to hear what you guys think. If you guys want to talk more to us between this time, because I know NXT is less than an hour away, so we kind of want to wrap this up. Let everybody get stuff ready. I might go out and get some dinner real quick, so I'm ready for the show. What do you guys think about what we said, our thoughts and stuff like that? If you guys want to continue the conversation, at Who Got Next on Twitter, on Instagram, patreon.com/WhoGotNext if you love the show and you want to support everything that we do. If you want to talk to us directly, I'm at Phillium RWA on Twitter. Nick, what's your Twitter?
Nick G. Giacobbe. Before we get out of here, I just want to give a quick thank you to every single person that tuned in. I know 6:30 p.m. on a Saturday before a takeover. It's not the most convenient time. Going forward, we're going to do after shows so we can all react together. I think it's going to work out a lot better. So.
Yeah, me and Nick were talking, also talking to Ant, and we decided that, we feel like it's a lot easier to get people to watch an after show than a pre-show because, a lot of people are kind of, moving around trying to get stuff ready for NXT. But everyone who watches NXT Live wants to talk about it afterwards. So this will most likely be our last pre-show, but definitely look forward to our after shows starting probably in the Survivor Series one because me and Nick will both be at Takeover in Brooklyn. So look out for that. We'll do a Periscope, but it won't be all nice and pretty like this with all the stuff that Ant made. I'll do the Emma dance.
Speaking of Ant, quick announcement. Ant made us a new logo. It's going to debut Monday or Tuesday, probably,
yes.
Something like that.
Our Patreons have seen it already. This is why you should be a Patreon and get to see cool stuff like this. And the new logo is amazing. I can't wait to put it on hats, T-shirts, coasters. I'll get a tattoo right on my neck right here like J.R. Smith. Listen, man, I'm hyped. There you go.
Again, this Friday, we're moving to the Rant with Ant Network. If you're not subscribed to there, I'm pretty shocked because you should be. But if you're not, go to Rant with Ant on Stitcher, Google Play, iTunes, subscribe. You will hear from us on Friday. The show will be about an hour, 20 minutes, something like that. We'll cover TakeOver, this week's episode of NXT, any news. That's a wrap, Phil. Anything else you want to say?
Nothing, man. I can't wait for tonight's show. I can't wait to hear from all you guys what you guys think about it. Nick, there's one thing left to do. I'm stealing your line tonight, baby. That's what type of night it's going to be. Ready, Nick?
I thought you're stealing the line.
Just do it. Do it over. I don't care. I'm so hyped. You run the line. It works better that way.
There's one last thing to do, and that's the clink.
Clink. Top guys. Out.